What is going on, Babylonians? It's me, Songs of Raids, back with another Battlefield gun guide to bring to you, and today we're going to be looking over the most unconventional weapon that's made its way into the game, and this is the GVT 4570. Now, this is a lever action rifle, which is a lot of fun, and it's definitely piqued my interest as soon as I saw it was available in the gun selection. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a look over the stats, we're going to have a look as to what makes it unique, we're going to find out if it's actually usable in this current state of Battlefield, and obviously with the longer sight ranges and all that. Is it comparable to a sniper rifle? Is it comparable to more of like the DM7 or the SVK or anything like that? Does it have a place to be able to fit into? But as always, make sure you've dropped a like on the video, make sure you drop the subscribe, it really does help the channel out, and it just lets me know that obviously you are looking forward to more gun guides as soon as they come out to you. So without further ado, let's get straight into the stats. Okay, as always, we always go for that aim down sights time. Now, the GVT clocks in at around about 250 milliseconds, so this is a little bit quicker than your sniper rifles, or at least sniper rifles that would come with scopes, and it comes in a little bit quicker than assault rifles, but not as fast as SMG. So it definitely has a kind of like a position that it kind of fits into, and it's nice to know that it has that snappy kind of aim down sights time. When it comes to the magazines, we have three that we need to have a look into, and this will be the standard, the high power, and the armor piercing. Reload times are a little bit awkward, but we'll get into those in a second. But just know that the magazine size is standard across the board for all three of those at 6. And when it came to the reload time, I've kind of got what the figures would be for the first bullet and then every single bullet that after that. So when it comes to the standard magazines, if you empty this all the way, the first bullet will take 1.42 seconds to be able to go in, and then it will be 0.65 seconds per bullet that's after that. So obviously you don't have to wait all the way until you get to 0, you can just chamber more bullets as you go on. If we go from there to the high power, it was a little bit quicker to be able to put the first shot in at 0.98 seconds, but every single bullet after that was definitely slower at 0.72. And then when it came to the armor piercing, this was the exact same as the high power, so 0.98 for the first shot, and then 0.72 per bullet that's after that. So if we have a look over our rate of fires or rounds per minute when it comes to each of the magazines, when it came to the standard rounds, we're looking at around about 95.5 rounds per minute. When it came to the high power, we're looking at about 84, and when it came to the armor piercing, we're looking at just over 84 rounds per minute again on that as well. When it came to the damage, for the standard rounds, your first drop off is after 39 meters. So for all the way up to 39 meters, you're doing 60 damage per shot. When it came to 40 to 74 meters, you're now doing 35, and then at 75 meters onwards, we're now doing 26. When it came to the high power, this basically extended that second range all the way up. So basically, you're now doing 60 damage all the way up to 74 meters. And then you'll be dropping off to 35 meters at 75 meters onwards. And then the armor piercing drops, but kind of brings the damage range forward. So you're going to be doing 35 damage from basically point blank all the way up to 74 meters. And then at 75 meters onwards, you're now doing 26. So it's important to know that the armor piercing is god-awful when it comes to dealing with infantry, or so it looks on paper. So the interesting thing that I found with this is that as long as you're dealing at least 35 damage, I've yet to test this at 75 meters onwards with the armor piercing, but just know that basically up to 74 meters with the standard, all the way at any range with the high power, and then up to 74 meters again with the armor piercing, this is a one-hit headshot. It definitely has a higher headshot multiplier compared to all the other guns that we're currently testing, but I was very surprised to know that a suppressed AP or armor piercing government, or the GVT 4570, was able to one-hit headshot. I was expecting to see figures of around about, what was it, 32, this is 64. So I was expecting to see 64 damage come back to me from when I was doing the testing, but it was an instant kill. It was just surprising, and I feel like it's also the case with the 26, but to be honest with you, I didn't get to 75 meters to be able to test because my game finished, so I wasn't able to grab that testing. So just know that this can definitely still one-hit headshot regardless of which ammo you put in. So technically, you could, as long as you're accurate and your aim is true, you could use the armor piercing for this. Just know that it's going to punish you heavily if you end up hitting body shots, because the standard standard rounds, you will be doing 2, 3, or 4 shots to kill. When it comes to the high power, this just makes it a 2 to 3, so it makes it very more consistent. And when it comes to the armor piercing, you're looking at a 3 to 4 shot kill. What that means in terms of like time to kill, in terms of milliseconds, the standard mags or standard rounds, you're looking at 628, 1256, or 1883. When it comes to the high power, you're looking at 714 and then 1428. And then when it comes to the armor piercing, you're looking at 1422 all the way to 2133 milliseconds, which is just crazy. So definitely not advised. And this gun is pretty much all about precision, so you should really be aiming for those headshots. It's definitely like kind of like your more close quarters kind of sniper rifle. So if you can get away with that and you're able to hit those headshots, you'll definitely find that you're instantly deleting people. So you'll definitely have a lot of fun with this kind of gun. The last thing of note is that this gun only has one barrel. You do not have a short barrel and you do not have a long barrel. So whatever barrel you currently have, obviously it will get affected slightly if you use the suppressor, but I'll be covering that in a separate video just so I can actually show you roughly what my findings are when it comes to suppressors in general. But just know that your rounds per minute will be always the same regardless of what you put on the front, but your bullet velocity as standard is 606 meters per second. So this isn't terrible. It's definitely decent enough to be able to reach out to like medium range. You definitely don't have to lead your shot as much, but if you're trying to engage targets similar to like a sniper rifle at like 1,000 yards or anything like that, you're not going to be seeing any kind of real success with this. I'm not saying that you can't do it, I'm just saying that you're going to struggle, and it's definitely worthwhile swapping over to a sniper rifle if you're planning to take on those kind of engagements. And last but not least, we've got to look at the aim down sight time when it comes to the scopes as well in game. So as standard, obviously with the iron sights, we are looking at 250 milliseconds. The only other ones that do actually affect, so this is kind of slightly different compared to other guns that we've looked at before. So not all the standard hollows or anything like that also have the exact same aim down sight time. So when it comes to 250 milliseconds, we are also including the fusion hollow, the 8R hollow, and the XDR hollow. When it comes to the next step up, which is 300 milliseconds, we're looking at the K8 hollow, the UH1 Smart, the TV2X, and the Shan 2.5X. Next step up from there is 350 milliseconds, which is the M22 3.5X, so not a bad option whatsoever. Next up, we've got 400 milliseconds, which is the Ghost Hybrid, the Mole Hybrid, the Bravo 3X, and the Raven 4X, which is quite interesting because the hybrids are actually quite slow on this rifle, so I'd highly advise that you go away from that and don't use the hybrid sights in this, so you probably want to use anything else but that. And then lastly, we have the M11 6X, which clocks in at 450 milliseconds, so there's going to be more of your sniping kind of optic, and due to like the bullet velocity and obviously the damage ranges and all that, I'd kind of recommend against using that for the GVT, but like I said, if you are able to land that headshot, technically it doesn't matter, so therefore feel free to give it a go, have it a try, and see how you kind of get on with that. And with that in mind, that pretty much wraps up everything that the GVT 4570 actually brings to the table. Now, overall, it's definitely one of my favourite guns that's currently in the game, just because I like something that offers some kind of reward for you having some kind of skill to where when you actually wield a weapon, and the GVT definitely is able to do that, like I said, with two-shot body shots, or being able to get that one-hit headshot at pretty much any kind of range, and the fact that you can get it on suppressed as well, and you're still able to do that is just, it's testament to how good the gun actually is. So, I'd highly recommend that you pick this up, give it a go, especially if you think your aim is on point, and yeah, just you'll just be like kind of popping heads and popping skulls with this kind of gun all over the battlefield. So I hope you've enjoyed, I hope you've learned something useful with ourselves. If you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Massive thank you to the Babylonian family, as always. Their names will be popping up at the end of the video. If you are looking to be able to get your name up there in shiny lights, basically all you need to do is click on that join button that's found right next to the subscribe button. Really as little as 99p a month, and every single penny of that goes straight back into the channel, just to be able to help us run like a few competitions, which we'll be looking to do in the new year, and also helps to be able to, you know, increase the production value when it comes to these kind of videos. So thank you all so much. As always, keep yourself safe, keep yourself well, and I'll see you all on the next video.